You're probably getting destroyed by Van Dijk and FC24, but that's because you probably don't have Make Your Mark Xavi Simons. Or is it true? Because today we'll be finding out if this card is wondrous, mid, or doo-doo, and if this SBC is worth it or not, and I'll be letting you know by the end of this video. Well, why should you listen to me? Well, I consistently get rank 1 and rank 2 of FUT Champions, so I believe I can help recommend you the best cards to use to help get you more wins and have a better experience with your players. So first we're going to talk about each and every stat of this card, then we're going to talk about the best ways to use this card if you decide to do the SBC. But before we get into anything, if you need FUT coins, be sure to use code CV3 on U7 Buy for 6% off for cheap and safe coins if you want to afford these type of cards or more expensive cards. So first, let's talk about his pace. For me, his pace was actually pretty good. There are times when I use this card, and at first I'm like, why isn't this card moving that fast? But then when he turned on the Rapido booster juice, he was gone. He was actually getting in behind the defenders, which was very good because of that rapid plus for sure. Now, what about his dribbling ability? Now, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I thought he was gonna be a JJ Okocha, Akatakata Neymar, those great dribblers that can twist and turn. But his dribbling sometimes does come off a little bit shaky, like Parkinson's. But he's also 5'10", and his body type might be a little bit odd for me at least, because when I was using this card, sometimes his touches were a little bit too heavy. Even though he had the first touch playstyle, not first touch plus, just first touch, it would be a little bit heavy. Sometimes his touch will be too extended and it allows the defense to recover and take the ball from him. That was one of the things I didn't like too much about his dribbling, but it's still good. You can still do some skill moves and the skill moves still come out pretty nice, but there are times where it doesn't feel the best. Now, shooting and clinicality ability. Listen, y'all, I'm more critical on the SBCs because I'm investing mad fodder. So I was expecting him to be even more clinical, but there are times where for some reason, even though he had high shot power, it wasn't moving as fast and the keeper would save a lot of the shots. It wasn't going top ins like I expected. The green times, he'll still get the job done in the box, but outside the box is not as crazy. He also doesn't have the finesse like Messi, so that's a little bit of a hindrance as well. Only has Trivela, but I'll tell you more about how to improve the shooting later on. Now, one absolute positivity that I like about this card is that he has defensive capabilities. You know what I'm saying? A card that can really defend while the player's playing with their back line. So sometimes I would get off a slide tackle and actually stop the ball. I would actually make a tackle. It's not always the best, but it's something useful because a lot of the wingers can't really defend, and this guy has some defensive capabilities, which was nice to have. Now look, I didn't get in too many physical altercations with this card, but he's not a puss in boots, I can tell you that. So if this card gets near somebody, he's not always going to get completely bodied off the ball because he's very aggressive, so it helps for sure with the physicality. Now with the passing ability, you will have no issues with that at all. He was passing it, no issues. I didn't really see many errors at all. It was very nice with the passing for sure. And he has some good play styles with it as well. Now that I've spoken on the stats of the card and what I like and don't like about it, now I'm going to tell you the best ways to use this card for him to perform the best for you if you still decide to do this SBC or if you just want to use the card. So one of the best ways to use this card is literally, so say you play with a biggity striker like Olivier Giroud or Haaland, you can use this card to run down with its tremendous pace, get the space and cross it in because he has whip pass and win the headers with Haaland most of the time, which is a very great way to use this card. Now, if you saw in the clip before, I tried the finesse like Messi and it looked absolute doo-doo with the name on it, right? Because he doesn't have the finesse play style. So I suggest you play him on the right wing instead of the left wing and cross it down. So he's playing on the strong foot, so you can also cross green time across the net, and you can also do your whip pass more accurately because he doesn't have a 5-star weak foot. So definitely use this card on the right wing or possibly a cam if you use a formation with a cam. But I suggest definitely the right wing. Now the chemistry style. Since I noticed that the card, even though he had good shot power, it didn't come off the strongest. His dribbling was a little bit shaky sometimes. I suggest you put the marksman on this card. You put up his shot, you put up his dribbling, and you put up his physicality, which helps a lot with this card. I definitely think that was the best chemistry style to put on this card. Another way that I was using this card that I found that was very nice is doing the 1-2s. You pass it to one of your attackers or to one of your centre mids and give and go. So as soon as you do that, you let him run, and since he has rapido pace, you'll be getting in behind and a lot of defenders will be able to catch up. Or you can also player lock to make it more efficient, because then you're basically in behind and it will cause problems for your opponent's defense, which is very good because now you have more space for your other attackers. But looky here, we had some absolutely heavenly gameplay with this card, but we also had some doo-doo moment. But the ultimate decision now is if this card is wondrous, mid, or doo-doo. Is it even worth it to complete it? He was currently around 400k, was fodder. That's not too expensive. Now, did I had some fun with this card? And also try to use the Trivela shots because that will be OP if you get the right angles. It's a little bit glitchy now, but it's still nice. Now look at here. I can definitely see how a lot of people will enjoy to use this card depending on your certain play styles. This can be a very great card for you. But since Xavi Simons doesn't have the finesse like Messi at this stage of the game, what I think you should have at least one of them. Finesse plus or the finesse regular don't come as cellular. Now for me, would this card make it to the starting 11 of my squad? Probably not. I'm gonna have to give this card midress. But I also reviewed this card right here. Be sure to check that out and find out if he's wondrous, mid, or doo-doo. And also find out if I got rank 1 in this video. Adios.